What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Transcendence, which you no doubt saw from the title. This is a game that's been in development for 20 years, from what I've looked into. And so what is Transcendence? Why should you care? Well, I spent the weekend playing it and really enjoyed myself. Thought it was a lot of fun. This is an open-world space RPG with customizable ships where you fly around the galaxy. It's kind of like in roguelike format, so the developer himself said that what he wanted to create here 20 years ago was NetHack in space. He was inspired by NetHack to make this game. And really, you can tell the spots where the game is supposed to be played in roguelike mode. Now, for the recording of this video, I wanted to get a little bit further on in, so I don't have it on roguelike mode right now, but I have been playing it on roguelike mode in my non-YouTube playthroughs, and it's been a really good time. And this is a game where a hyper-dominant, basically god-level AI, has spoken to your mind and has been like, hey, you need to go to the center of the galaxy, and has just been eating away at the corners of your brain until finally you can't take it anymore. You abandon your family, you abandon your friends, you abandon everything, you get the cheapest ship you possibly can, and you begin your trip to the center of the galaxy. The AI has promised you that what you'll find there at the center of the galaxy will rock the foundations of human understanding. Oh, there's like a wreckage field over here. Did I do this? I don't remember doing this, but it's possible I might have done this. Either that or, like, factions will fight little wars and battles and stuff on the map. I don't think that I did this. I'm going to go ahead and loot and grab all this stuff real quick because the game will let me do it. I mean, it may just be like a debris field, but it's kind of hard to say. Salvaging is kind of a thing in this game because things happen on the map that you really have no control over. Much in the same way when you play something like Star Sector, the little, like, forces will beef and fight with each other independent of whether you're there or not. They kind of do the same thing in this game, so I have no recollection of blowing up this area, but it's possible that I may have done so. On your way, as you make your trip towards the center of the galaxy, oh, this is a little bit more hard of a target. All right, as you make your way towards the center of the galaxy, there are many different ships to buy. There are many different pieces of equipment that you can throw onto your... Ooh, I just got hit by something. What done just hit me? Who's firing missiles over here, man? Oh, it looks like there's somebody with missile launchers. I got missile launchers, too. If you want to do the missile thing, we can do the missile thing. Look at that right there. How you like that now, huh? Yeah, I got like 100 of them. This game is sticky key's worst nightmare because my rocket launcher is on my shift key. But along the way, as you move towards the center of the galaxy, you're going to be collecting equipment. You're going to be taking quests. You're going to be fighting guys in order to maintain your money. You can trade. You can mine. There's a crafting system in the game via usage of these aliens called the Tinkers that like to play around and combine items together. And so you can take different laser cannons and sort of like smush them together to make super weapons. Kind of like doomsday weapons, I guess. We've got a bolide laser blaster. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and grab it. We've got 62 missiles. Those are the ones that I'm actually not using right now. I'm using the 110s. Those are 100s, but I do have a compatible launcher. Every single thing in this game has a different manufacturer. And in general, you kind of want your stuff to be by the same manufacturer because manufacturers tend to have like an idea, sort of like Borderlands style, I guess, around their equipment. Some are meant to hit hard but fire slow. Some of them are like rapid fire. Some of them have different resistances. Some of them have like support devices that will do various things that make your equipment more interesting. Oh, nice, a propulsion upgrade. I'll take that. I don't really need the reactive armor. It's not very valuable. I guess I will take it just because. This right here is a ROM Biosoft, so basically you install this like in your computer's neural network. It's effectively a potion with a permanent upgrade or a permanent downgrade for your ship, all right? You will feel the influences of NetHack in this game as you play it. I absolutely promise you, everything from like unidentified softwares that you have to decide whether or not you want to stick them in your brain, to things like you will just find barrels of solution. Just unnamed solution barrels that you don't know what they do, and you've just got to rub them on one of your pieces of equipment until you figure out what it does. And it may melt your equipment, it may add a whole bunch of damage to your equipment, it may change the resistances around. You never quite know, but as I said, the more you play this game, the more you will feel that influence of NetHack in there. If after watching this video you wanted to get the game for yourself, I'm just now getting to the best part. This game is completely and totally free. The expansions are not free, but if you wanted to play the vanilla base game that's been in development for 20 years, go get it. You have nothing to lose. The game is completely and totally free, either from the developer's website, or he put it up for free on Steam too. You can just go play the game right now, and if you find that it sucks up a whole bunch of your time, then you can decide whether or not you want to buy the expansions. I think there's 2 expansions. I think there's 1 expansion. I just actually alt-tabbed out just to check and make sure something's headed for me. Ow, don't do that. Stop that. Quit it right now. Watch your targets. Well, maybe you shouldn't be like in the middle of a firefight right now. Like, listen, man, when the aliens rocked up on me and tried to murder me, you were right there with them. And so that doesn't paint a pretty picture right here. I'm beginning to think that you're a collaborator, nerd. And so, you know, maybe get down or lay down. I don't know. There's no items here. What I'm doing right now is if you wanted to see how big the game world is, you can take a look right here. And this is the game world. It's pretty much the same every single time that you go through it from what I've seen so far. You start in different areas, though, depending on what campaign you're playing. So if you're playing the... I think it also depends what ship you're playing as well, now that I think about it. It, like, moves you around a little bit as you jump between these areas. I would say that each zone probably takes about an hour to an hour and a half to complete if you 100% it. I've gone through most of these zones right here and 100%ed them, so, like, these first 5. And I think I'm somewhere around 6.5 hours of gameplay on this guy. And so that's kind of where you're at. Don't think that because the galaxy in this game is a lot smaller than what you would see in another title, that there is not content here. Like, every single zone has its own little side quests. You also have a main quest that you're following. So right now I'm trying to get to St. Catherine's Star because I found out that there's some kind of, like, rogue agent that's acting nasty inside one of the factions, and so I've got to get across the galaxy to warn somebody. But there's also other quest lines and things taking place right now, which you can check in your ship configuration. And so I've got Benedict and Fiona over here. It looks like I need to go to the Dorado system as well for something. And then there's our larger, sort of all-encompassing goal of making it to the center of the galaxy. If you're wondering what customization looks like in this game, you've got your ship configuration. It'll give you all your baseline stuff, so like what drives you have, what reactors you have to generate electricity. It will tell you who manufactured your ship, what cargo bay you have, the armor types you're rocking, how many device slots you have open. Right here, you put armor on each side of your ship. This is actually important because taking shots to those sides matters. You can put individual plates on each side of your ship that will give you different resistances and a different amount of HP. However, this game does not have structural damage. If you look at the little grid down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you have shields, and once those go down, you have armor. And once your armor goes down, that's it, you die. When armor hits 0, if you take one more hit on that spot, it penetrates and kills you instantly. Oh, that guy right there is a salvager. So there's like this strange alien race that exists, and they clean up all the debris and all the dead bodies and stuff from firefights. I love the way their ships look, though. Like the pre-renders for this game look so good. But you've also got your weapons over here. You can't fire multiple weapons simultaneously from what I've seen so far. At least I haven't been able to do so. However, you do have multiple weapon slots that you can hotkey swap in between. So right now I'm using a dual turbo laser cannon. But if I wanted to put something like a acid thrower over here, I could do that, and I could swap between them on the fly in combat. Different ships are going to have different loadouts. This one has a missile launcher on it. Some ships will have like 2 cannons and like a turret. It depends what ship you decide to start with. I think there's 5 or 6 different starting ships, and they all kind of have like their own idea and thing that they're trying to accomplish. We've got a laser collimator over here that makes my lasers hit harder. This is kind of where the magic happens, I guess, the device slots. The device slots are basically like cool pieces of equipment that do something interesting. So like I have a laser collimator. It raises all my laser damage by 50%. I also have a patch spider over here. A patch spider, it's a robotic spider that lives in my hull and it repairs my armor. I forget where I found it, but I was really excited when I found it. I've also gone with an aftermarket cargo hold and an aftermarket reactor so that I can generate more power. This is a space game where you've got to refuel your reactor. You can see the fuel up here in the top left. It's not doing so great right now. I should probably actually top up. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we will figure out what we want to do next. Topped up, all good to go. Where's the Dorado system at? Well, unfortunately, I don't have Dorado on my system map, so I think we're going to have to track it down and find it. However, we do have Talai. I don't know if we can go over to that area. either. You can actually jump onto this little map right here and see a station list, just in case you don't know where everything is. So Talai is there, and it looks like those are the only 2 jump gates. Fair enough. Let's go to Talai then, and we'll see what happens in the next system. What kind of interesting shenanigans we can get up to. Entering into Talai through the Stargate. Hopefully we don't get jump coming straight out. Every now and again, you kind of zone out into a neighboring zone in the middle of conflict while everybody's fighting. Let's have a look around and see what the system's got to offer. In general, you're going to find that interesting stuff is usually around planets or in belts. So we'll see what we can find over there. Unfortunately, I think we got to fight our way over there. Try to survive long enough to make it. We are being shot with many missiles right now. Luckily, the armor appears to be holding, so we may be okay. I can always flip around if it gets worse. You want to get shot, bro? I'll put some missiles on you. I'll take you out right now. Now, there is no experience or levels in this game. You don't have like a talent tree or anything else like that from what I've seen. However, the RPG portion of this game comes from the decisions and the random stuff that happens along the way. And we got a bunch of missiles here that I haven't seen before. The Eurasian Diarchy and the Asian Pacific T-11 missile. Interesting. Okay, so we've got some new manufacturers in this zone. Methinks I may have crossed some corporate borders. I recognize the Barack missiles, but like the other missiles are unfamiliar, and I've been playing for quite a little while. But yeah, this game doesn't have any of like the normal things that you would find in an RPG. So no level ups, no talent trees, no skills, no anything like that. In a way, there are kind of skills that you can play around with. You can be given blessings from, I believe, Domina, the AI, which will give you kind of like magic powers you can play around with in your spaceship. I think I've only got one of them right now, which is this impenetrable shield right here. It's called the sustain shield. You can't attack while using it, but it will allow you to escape, and it's on like a cooldown. I googled it on the Wikipedia for this game, although information on this game is actually, for a game that's been in development for so long, that appears to be a respected game that like people with space games have heard of, like people that are into space opera games have heard of. This game, oddly enough, does not have an enormous amount of resources for you to look at if you want to play it, and I have found that to actually be a really good thing. This is a game that came along at exactly the right time when I was taking a little bit of a break from content creation. I was kind of like evaluating my life and like what I wanted to do with it and like where I was at, and I like kind of sunk into this game really, really hard. And I think the existence of Wikipedias that would have explained anything about this game probably would have ruined the magic of it. So the Donetsk commune. You are docked at Donetsk's Eurasian Diarchy station. Finely dressed citizens walk purposefully through the large halls and corridors of the station. In the main hall, 2 station guards block your way, but you can see a small crowd of pilots gathered at the center of the main hall. A man, more than likely the station master, is briefing them. The guards are polite but firm. What's happening here? One of the guards tells you what's going on. There's a band of first hunters headed this way, but don't worry, the station master, he's organizing mercenaries to take care of them. I'm a mercenary. The guards look at each other and shrug. They let you in. You join the group just as the station master describes the mission. The first hunters are coming in force. It looks like several raiding parties are working together. They're going to try to board the station and attack it from the inside, so prevent their gunships from docking. Got it? We will pay 3,000 euros to every participating pilot if we drive them away. Don't worry about the small fighters. Get the heavy gunships and we'll be all right. Oh, so we kind of like came in the middle of conflict here. Interesting. Oh, it's happening right now. Gotcha. So which ones are the gunships? Probably those big ones right there. All right. It do look like they're kind of slowing down a little bit to come after us. Got you. Got you. Taking a little bit of damage to armor right now, which is unfortunate. Did we win? Are we good to go? I think we may have won. There it is. Cheers rise as the pilots return. The station master is in the center, handing out Euro chips and shots of vodka. Nice job, mercenary. You've earned your pay this time. These guys apparently use a new type of currency, too. I picked the perfect time to film this episode because I appear to have crossed some kind of border in between factions into a new area with its own economy and its own problems and its own, like, currency. And so that's very, very interesting stuff that I'm glad I could disclose in this video. Most of these places will have, let's see here. Oh, I can't do anything in the main hall. Most places will have a shop that you can fiddle around with. This guy has an omnidirectional turbo laser cannon. Be kind of fun to use. It's pretty... Oh, I'm selling. Never mind. That one's mine, I guess. Tee-hee. Actually, no, it's not. We've got a turbo. I don't remember picking that up, but I guess I did. This is mine, but I don't have it equipped right now. I don't have a Burak launcher, so I will sell those. I do not have an Asian Pacific launcher or a Eurasian launcher, so I'll sell those. I do have a Nami launcher, so I'm going to keep all the Nummy missile. I call these Num missiles. I don't know. They're by the Nami Corporation or something. I call them Num-Nums. We've got a upgrade I need to get rid of over here, although I think I can equip that. Yeah, let me do some refitting on my random devices here. We've got missile defense turrets. This device combines a fast Doppler sensor with a targeting computer. Hostile missiles in range will be blasted into dust by a laser cannon. And it looks like, unfortunately, all my slots are full right now for device upgrades. We may be in the market for a new ship. I don't have a lot of money, but we may be in the market for one. I'll just keep things kind of where they were at. I was going to try to install a propulsion upgrade, but just because there's an empty slot there doesn't mean there's actually an empty slot. So we'll go ahead and go sell off all this stuff to get our cash up. I've got Carbon Weaver Nanos. I do need to do something with those. If you look at my HUD right now, anything that's got like a little blue text next to it is a mod that I've made to that item. So like with these dual turbo laser cannons right here, I added a fast mod to it, and I added 50% damage to it with the collimator. Over here on my armor, I've added 30% total HP to the front armor plating due to the fact that that tends to be where I get shot. I also added 20% more girth to my shield, my armor ionizer, I guess. And so I can actually do some of this stuff here if I wanted to. These little guys right here, these softwares, I do want to install them, but they could be bad, and you never know. And so what you'll need to do if you want to identify them is either you've just got to kind of YOLO it and full send it, or you get one of these analyzers right here, and these analyzers they're basically identify scrolls of varying expenses. I don't know how to recharge it, though. It's got charges on it, and it still sells for a lot of money, even after it's empty, and so I'm guessing you can refill it or reload it somehow, but I haven't been able to figure out exactly how to do it just yet. I do need to refuel, so if you've got fuel rods, I'll take them. All right, what else is going on in this system? So we've got busted ships over here from the fight. Did they have any loot? They've got, like, damaged plate armor. Aw, you little bastard. He looted my wreck. How dare you? There's nothing on that one right there. Most of the galaxies or most of the systems you're going to play around with in this game, they have like little cleanup units that fly around and loot wrecks if you don't loot them. And so you kind of want to be like on your job and make sure you do that because they will get to it. What are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at pirates shooting me in the face is what we're looking at here. Pirates that have no chin on them, though. They die pretty easy. Ow. All right. Dude, if you hit me with one more missile, I'm going to assume that we're not friends. What else we got going on? Helium rods. I will take them. Put them inside my mouth. I like having extra... I've never seen what happens when you run out of fuel, but I can't imagine it's good. And so I like always keep extra fuel rods inside my cargo. Just in case. Because you never know. So we've got a pirate station up here. Sweep in, dodges fire. He just got reinforced. Took care of them easy enough. Let's go ahead and hit this guy with some missiles. He hits hard. He got my armor down halfway in the front. That building's now down. We are being reinforced yet again. Wipe out a few more enemies right there. And we should be good to loot this place. Let's see what goodies he's got in here. Weapons can be damaged. You can repair them. However, most systems and most merchants will not buy damaged goods. There are very specific special vendors that will pay you lots of money for damaged goods, though. So keep that in mind. You've just got to find them first. A barrel marked with strange symbols. Oh boy. All right, hyper fiber. Definitely take those. I don't know if I care about the U-Rock armor or the heavy ceramic armor. It's not really worth much. I mean, I guess I've got the inventory space, and we've got a station nearby we can sell it at, so it's not that big of a deal. But this is really the core gameplay loop. Oh, that ship shoots. Okay. We got a big dog over here. We got a guy that's okay, I'm just gonna take the missile right. I'm gonna fall back for a second. I'm gonna wait for my armor spider to fix my armor up. In the meantime, what we can do is we can go to our cargo hold, and actually I can boost up the rest of my armor using the... There we go. The Carbon Weaver Nanos. We'll throw that in right there. I would like to use another, yes. We'll throw that in right there, and we'll throw that in right there, and we've modded our armor. There you go. Our armor's resistances are really good, too. I found this Ceraloy armor on some station. It's really nice. It gives you, like, 300 resistance to lasers, ballistics, like bullets. I've got 300 resistance. This is for, I think, ion weapons or something like that. It's like particle cannons, I think. 125% resistance to particle cannons. And that one right there, I don't know what that's a new symbol, but I figure it's probably good for me. Now that my armor's feeling a little better, I kind of want to take a chop at this station, but as I was saying, the core gameplay loop of this game is going to be you knocking over a lot of enemy space stations and killing a lot of enemy ships. Yeah, just keep shooting missiles at him. There we go. We got him with the missiles. He died. I might need like a minute. Can I loot this without getting shot? I can. He's got a num-num missile launcher. He's got some longbows up there. We got some fuel rods. They hit, though. Those guys got a little bit of chunky flesh to them, man. They don't feel good when they hit you. But largely, you're going to zone into systems. You're going to fight random stations. You're going to fight random loot. You're going to kill random enemies. You're going to have a great time. You're also going to want to go to, like, every station and see what quests they have. Those will get you extra paychecks, or they'll start off varying narratives that you might have otherwise missed. Oh, we're at 27 armor right now. That's not good. 20 armor, in fact. These guys know how to hit. Hull breach imminent. Yeah, well, Armor Spider, get to work, man. What do I keep you around here for? Get to work, brother. And we got missiles. We got helium reactor assemblies. I'll grab those. What's this guy got? What you got for me, baby? You've got a damaged laser cannon, longbow missiles. Actually, pretty much nothing here that I want except for the reactor rods. Sucks. I was hoping big ship would have big loot. And we've also got some light reactive on this civilian ship that's been knocked out, but oh wow, there's two more of them. Where are those guys coming from? They're like reinforcing that station over there, but I'm not exactly sure where they're coming around from. But anyways, this Transcendence, it's a great game. The only flaw in this game that I've found so far is that it runs in 30 frames per second. However, it is a very smooth feeling 30 frames per second due to the fact that the entire game has used like pre-renders. And so I haven't really noticed that it plays in 30 frames. And usually that's the kind of thing that I notice. There are modders working on this game trying to get it to run in 60 frames, but everything's hooked back to the tick rate because this game is made in like the late 90s and continued to be developed to this day. The developer for this game is apparently currently working on a sequel or like some kind of like major expansion or like 2.0 version of the game, which is why it has gone quiet on the updates page for like the last year. But the game is still being worked on. I thought it was really cool. I had a great time with it. It's a game that bleeds old school. Well, I was thinking about the way to wrap this game up. Really, followed me all the way down here. Huh. Cantankerous little bastard, ain't he? All right. I was trying to wrap up like how I feel about this game, and it perfectly encapsulates the feeling of old school gaming from the late 90s, like that I grew up with, which is probably why I like it so much. That combined with the clean lines on all of their pre-renders and like a core gameplay loop that makes sense and is easy to figure out but difficult to master, made me think of like that scene from The Last Samurai where he's being introduced to the Japanese general and he's like, oh, well, what can the general tell me about the samurai? And you know, the Peter Pettigrew guy, he says something along the lines of, oh, he is samurai. This game reminded me of the old school, but that's because it is old school. and it has been in development for decades and decades. So check it out, Transcendence. I think the game is great. I have no complaints. You have nothing to lose. It's completely and totally free. Roguelike mode, I think, is where this game shines and as intended to be played. However, if you have trouble with that, there's no shame in playing it with roguelike mode turned off like I did for this YouTube video, just so I could show you some later gameplay. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what is worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were checking out a title called Transcendence, which I think more than deserves your attention. I will catch you all later. Thank you for hanging out with me. Don't forget to check out the Twitch stream. I'm live most days of the week over there, and you are more than welcome to join me. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the video because only 4% of people make it to this point. But nonetheless, I'm going to say it anyways. Come hang out with me on stream. I'm lonely. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.